Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. When you're tuned in, you're with Lady Business and Give It to the People Radio, where you're going to get enlightened, enhanced, empowered, and enriched. Make sure that you always tune in to Give It to the People Radio. And we're back. So if you are listening, this is Give It to the People, and we are live, and I have Doug Hyman with me today. So we're going to end this show on a high note. You like how I did that? Y'all don't even know about that. Segue with the Hyman. But yes, we're going to end it on a high note. And if you are watching live, thank you so much for tuning in, because we love to give it to the people these Sunday mornings. Now we're a month and 1 week, as officially today, into doing this on Sundays. And this gives me kind of like a great start to my week. So I just want to jump right in, Doug. We have seen your beautiful wife. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
She has given us all the life that we needed today. So much that we have to have her back for sure. And she done booked like 30 people. But you, and I described you as, you are like the modern day George Jefferson, okay?
Hey, we're trying to move on up.
All right, so I need you, because I wanted to ask this question, but I was like, okay, let me just wait. How old are you?
32.
And I knew it was 30-something,
yeah.
Right? And you own a dry cleaners.
Yeah, so that's one of our ventures. So serial entrepreneur, but our dry cleaner is Clean and Press for Less of Burlington and Chapel Hill. We service the surrounding counties. Also,
are you pulling out a business card?
No.
What you got up in here?
I mean, you're official. So after being so inspired by being in the first Black-owned, woman-owned podcast studio, listening to all of your podcasts.
Gang signs and everything.
Yeah.
This is a gift certificate. Get your dress, get everything clean and pressed for less.
Do you know I stay at the cleaners?
Come see us.
I got about like 20 pieces of clothes right now that need to go to the cleaners.
Come see us. We got you.
They'll take good care of you. They are very good. I'm not saying that because I'm biased, but they are very good.
Okay, wife is in the background talking like we're not recording, but it's okay. Look, she just having a good time. See, this is what happens. People get comfortable, right? See, and then she was like, no, but then she said, Doug, don't be talking during my session, right? And then she just all through your session.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I get a gift certificate. What y'all know about that? I'm going to be clean and press less. Okay, I thought it was amazing, and I didn't know, but I knew it had to be 30-something. Okay, how is the question? Because you know people are going to want to know.
Sure.
So how did you open up a cleaners at 32 years old, and how long has it been open?
Okay, so so we actually have had the cleaners now for a year.
Okay.
It's been open for 13 years.
Okay.
It is a chain, so Burlington and Chapel Hill, and we service those surrounding areas. And so since we've had it, we've vertically integrated the cleaner, so we've done alterations, we've done wash and fold, and then we've also added commercial services. So we're actually growing the business very fast and loving what I'm seeing with the business and the investment that we put there. We also have another business, and we can talk about that, but we have a residential cleaning business, Mary Maids of York County. But as far as, the how, it goes back to my granddad, Alfonso, my grandma Lizzie, and then my aunt Glenda. There
was some grandma names, though.
Yeah.
He said his granddad name is Alfonso.
Oh, that's my middle name.
But
you already know.
it?
So if you got an Alfonso name, you can work hard.
If your name is Alfonso, honey, you know that's that old school, that's that true religion back in the woods, honey. Where Alfonso at? Come on.
Yeah, so the way they raised
Granddaddy?
me, and this is no hyperbole, but everyone I saw around me was an entrepreneur. So like my granddad.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah, I grew up as a farm brat and a convenience store brat. So he raised me in those two businesses. And when I say I thought 6 days was a work week, so when I get to college, I'm like, oh, y'all only going to school class 3 days a week, and y'all resting? The other 4? Nah.
You didn't even know what to do with yourself.
I was working full time. I paid my way through school.
There
so,
you go.
That helped, paying my way through school because I didn't have some of the debt that other people have, saving that money, and then also investing in a home early. That helped because I had a different mindset with, so have a family support, have at that time living house girlfriend to support, son to support. So all of that.
Sorry. I didn't even like the way he said that. If you are listening to this and you did not see, because the Facebook people got to see the wife beforehand and hear her story. So if you are just listening to this, you only hear his part, so you don't understand the whole context of it. He said he had a living girlfriend. Okay, she's a wife now.
Yeah,
all right. So if you're listening,
I upgraded.
Okay, thank you. And you upgraded.
But
okay.
all of that really went into the foundation that I had to open the door for the business.
Okay.
Worked extremely hard in my 20s. Did not rest in my 20s. Saved a lot of money. Was moving wherever the company asked me to move. I worked for a Fortune 15 company. I rose up to a middle manager, was promoted about every 2.5 years. I never said no. I'm very aggressive in my goals, but I looked at that opportunity in corporate before I got into corporate. I looked at that opportunity of me getting my accounting degree and getting a corporate job as an engine, so that I would have the money. I would have the money, the network, and the emotional intelligence to be able to run and grow a autonomous business.
Did you know then that you did definitely, because I mean, based on what you're saying, it was already bred into you to own a business. So you knew then that you wanted to own a business. And you know what? That just makes me even happier that you said that you have an accounting degree. So I know you be counting, because his wife likes to shop. And we did have a discussion. Loves. I shouldn't even say like. No. But no, we had a discussion on the first time that that I met them. And she was just like, she be trying to hide her Amazon boxes.
For sure.
So, but I mean, I think that that's one of the biggest things, is that you being that type of person allowed you to be successful in business, because you make sure everything is where it needs to be.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, accountant.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but do you hire an accountant to do your own books?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And so the reason I do that is for oversight. And so I have an accounting degree, so I can watch my accountant. And so I want to be able to know the advice that he's giving me is legit advice. I think that's a big thing. You want to have other people other than just yourself making all the shots. I'm in business and outside of corporate America so that I can do what I like to do, not what I have to do.
And that is, we talked about that before too, that it's honestly a privilege. So there's actually going to be an episode of Real Ass Affirmations coming out really shortly. And actually, since you said that, I'm probably going to put it out tomorrow because it talks about a quote from Lena Waithe, where she said it's a privilege to live your dreams. And I think that most people don't even understand that. And so you being able to pay for college yourself, you being able to then open up this business and not just have one, but have two. And then so it's the location in Burlington and the location in Chapel Hill.
Exactly.
Which are really then two separate businesses, okay?
Exactly.
And then still have the Maid Service business.
Yes.
What made you even jump into that when you already had the cleaners?
I mentioned a little bit earlier, vertical integration. And so what you look at in terms of, businesses should be ecosystems. And I'm somebody, like I said, I'm very, very competitive. Growing up, with my grandparents and my aunt, the way they raised me was to always have that foresight of where you're going. And so even back then, I knew that I would be a serial entrepreneur. Like people talking about, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor. Oh no, I'm going to be a boss. The boss, right?
There you go. The man.
And so, what I look at is when you have a business, once you get to a point where that business is you have a system set up where that business can be autonomous, then you have to look at, okay, how can you take the system and apply it to other businesses? Because you're not always going to be profitable every day of the week. And so when that one business may take a loss on a day, then the other one can help pick up, right? And so you're always, having that set income that's coming in so that you can do what you want to do. But, just having that idea of, okay, a one-stop shop. So when you look at like a retail shopping center, they have a certain amount of businesses. So they won't allow, 2 podcast studios probably to go in the same shopping center.
Which they shouldn't.
Right.
And it's just logical. So you want to do things that complement each other,
exactly.
But then it could be something that's totally, completely different. But since it's multiple in that area, then it makes sense too. Exactly. So when you talk about this, you chose to do franchising. And was that because there was already a system in place?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So franchising, it comes down to if you want to build it from the ground up, or you want to take a system that somebody has already spent time on and that will work based upon your skill set. And so, we picked dry cleaning we picked residential cleaning because it's a nice complement to dry cleaning. Yeah. And the personal services all go together, and the customers are similar customers. And so,
and they'll trust you in their house. If they give you their clothes and, then the natural progression is, oh, did you know that we do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so that was the goal.
Okay, I love that. And now one of the things that I could say is house cleaning is always going to be a need. And then just, and I'm sure that it's probably changed over the years, but if there's a house cleaning business, that means that usually rich people, that's how we look at it, right?
Yeah.
People with money are going to do those kind of things, but I think that it's also now where it's just people are busy, and so they want to do it. Are most of your customers that are doing that, like just busy people, and they need you to clean like once a week, once a month, or how does that usually work?
So we do, one of the things we looked at was the demographics of where we were putting the residential cleaning. We wanted it to, have a high amount of income, $100,000 in households, $100,000 and plus.
That's exactly,
so a lot of the homes that we see are 3,000 plus square feet. But the majority of the people are people like you and I that are millennials that are probably...
First of all, I'm not a millennial, but you better give me that little melanin. You better give me that melanin. Yes.
But they're people that are busy professionals, busy parents, that they don't want to have to come home and stay up to 1 o'clock a.m. to trying to clean their home. They rather outsource that. Yeah. And so going back to what you mentioned about Shaquita and Amazon, that's something that I saw. She was outsourcing her shopping because she didn't want to spend time doing that, and she's also trying to hide it from me.
I was like, is she really outsourcing her shopping? I like the way he said that, though. That's what I'm going to tell my husband. Well, I'm outsourcing my shopping. It's really important for the business. Oh, no, I love that. That was a great way to say that. It was so elegant, right? I'm outsourcing my shopping.
Outsourcing it. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you don't have to go out. They just bring it to you, and it does make it much more easy and convenient. Yeah.
But the majority are people that are busy.
Yes.
That's the majority. It's not people that are balling out of control that have
that's what I figured.
8,000 square foot mansions. It's not that.
Yeah. Which does make a difference, because that means it's a little bit more everyday person, and that means that maybe it's not as much money as the person that is balling out of control because they have the bigger space. Exactly. But is it a more constant kind of thing, because nobody wants to clean up?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Now, do you have other people that then go do the cleaning? Because I can't imagine that you have time to run 2 cleaners and go clean anybody's place.
Have a very solid team.
Okay.
They are amazing. All I get is positive feedback about the cleanings that they do, and I sing their praises 120%. And that's important because they're 2 hours away, so I have to be able to trust what they're doing.
That they're going to go to work, do the job, and not have to have little micromanagement over top of them also.
Exactly, but we have a system in place to where we can run that business remotely. We do go down there a lot. We probably have been to Charlotte. It's in the Charlotte area, but we probably have been down there to York County, South Carolina, 25 times this year.
Oh, wow.
Minimum. Wow. And that may be a little ball.
No, but then that's like almost at least every other, when you look at that, it's 52 weeks in a year, so every other week almost.
Exactly.
That's a lot, though.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot. But, if it's worth it, then it does make sense. Because how long does it take you to get there? That would be
just
my
2
question.
hours.
Okay, then that's not bad. That's not bad. So then this way you kind of get to go home and see family and do a little work and then come back, which means every trip is a business trip also.
Exactly.
Okay, write those off on those what? Taxes. Taxes. Yes. Okay, and that makes sense. This is now officially our first time that we have ever gone over, okay, because I know it's past 10 o'clock, but I'm sure that you guys are still watching and still looking, so I have a couple more questions, so I'm going to just go ahead and ask my couple more questions. So what's next? Because if you're a serial entrepreneur, you're not going to be able to stop, and I know it's something else that you want to conquer, so what's the next thing that you feel like you want to do?
Yeah, so I think for me, one of the biggest passions that I have going into 2020 and even in 2019 is just helping other entrepreneurs open doors. And so consulting other entrepreneurs that are trying to get off of the ground, because I can guarantee you somebody is out there right now that's listening that has an idea that probably could rival Steve Jobs and Zuckerberg and all these startups, but they just don't have the know-how, or they don't have the courage to step out on faith. And so business consulting, helping businesses that, or helping entrepreneurs get started, and then helping new entrepreneurs that are 2 years or less that need that encouragement, need that direction to get to the next level. So consulting entrepreneurs is.
I think you could even niche it even more than that. Even though I love what you just said, but there are people that want to specifically start franchises.
For sure.
And there are people that have probably failed at franchises, and I think that's probably why you and Irvin probably get along so well.
That's my guy.
Because Irvin, you know, he used to run some Quiznos, so he's had some franchises too. So just that insight and that know-how, it's not the same thing as you just starting everything from scratch. So they give you a system, but it's still people that fail at it. If you focus even in the franchise area, I think that would be wonderful, because I think people want to start them, but I mean, it's the main things you need are credit and money. Like